Good evening, everyone on YouTube. It is I, SpookyMemphisxlr8, here to showcase several decks this coming week of the Halloween variety. It's time for Spooktober here on the Memphisxlr8 channel. It's been a while since I've played this game. I think the last time was back in February. I played Ghost Tricks, and that'll be next week. But for now, we are playing Skull Servants, as they are a deck that one plays during Halloween time. Today, I'm going to be showing this on the Master Duel, as Memphis told me that we should start with Master Duel and do as many of these as we can on the Master Duel as his wallet and his pride will allow. So I am going to be showing off this deck. I forget if I'm supposed to read the cards off or not. So here they are. Here are the Skull Servant cards. And so now we must do several duels on Yugioh Pro and show how this deck works. It does feel a bit different. Alright, so this is a little different from playing on Yugioh Pro. I'm going first. I believe I'm supposed to go second with this deck. Skull Servants are, I believe, a deck about offense. Let's see. Well, we have a deck with cards. Let's me think. I don't think I want to summon this. I don't know. It's stat. So we're going to start off with Unizombie, who can change his level by sending cards in our hand and from our deck to the grave, I believe. So we are going to send. We have many things we could send. I think I'll send Mizuki. That seems like a good idea. Because if we send Mizuki to the grave, we can revive monsters later. And we're going to attempt to send another monster, and this, I believe, is White Baking, which is a monster that can get out more Skull Servants. From what I understand, Skull Servants, they all count as the same card while on the field or in the grave. And then they get more effects when there's a lot of them in the graveyard. Something to that effect. Like I said, I don't remember exactly how this deck works. I don't even remember if I played it in the past. Memphis is the duelist. Not so much. So I think we'll go and use Mizuki. And we're going to revive a monster. We'll bring back this monster as it has the most defense. And let's see. This one seems to have good defense as well. So we're going to go ahead and synchro summon Beals of the Diabolic Dragons, as it has a very high offense as well as a very solid defense. So we have ourselves a monster on the board. I believe that's good. We have a monster on the board, and that way we will not have no monsters. I don't know what my opponent's doing. He has a lot of cards. He has more cards than I do. So that could mean that his deck is better, or it could mean that it's worse. I don't remember. I don't play this game very often. I prefer to stay in the closet, as it's nice and cozy in there. Well, my opponent he's played 2 cards so far. Alright, okay, so he has 2 cards on the field. We don't know what this face down card is. So I believe, yes, we'll use White Baking again, as I believe there's a monster. Yes, this Link Karibo, who's actually quite adorable. which I can summon using a level 1 monster. And that will activate the white baking. It seems like a pretty strong card. As whenever it hits the graveyard, then I can do several things. Alright, I already have the white mare. Memphis said I only need one of those things. Actually, specific words were, you only need one of them fangs. I guess that's a technical term. Something to that effect. But we will be able to send more monsters to the graveyard. And I believe now we use the White Prince. Because I can banish this along with 2 other monsters to summon the King of the Skull Servants, who doesn't look like much of a king, other than he's standing on a pile of what appear to be the corpses of his brothers, or family members, or however that works. Regardless, I will be able to bring back the Lady in White, which will protect this, but yeah, this doesn't look like much of a king. He doesn't wear a crown or anything. A bit unusual. I don't think a second one of these is going to be that useful to me, so I'm not going to summon another one. Alright, so my opponent is playing a junk deck of some form, I think. Hall of the Haunted, alright. Oh, I can't stop this, I don't think. I could use White Princess. I suppose. I don't remember what this does. Oh, it makes everything smaller. No. Okay, so that stopped me from attacking with the King of Skull Servants. I guess I misplayed there, but you know, I still have things. I still have my king, and I still have more cards than my opponent does. I'm pretty sure I'm okay. I don't remember. Raigeki, okay. So what does this do? Level 3 or lower zombie would be destroyed. Discard this. Yeah, I'd like to protect my cards. I kind of need those. Unfortunately, I lose Link Karibo. Oh. And my opponent surrenders. Okay. Seems kind of rude. I mean, you only just... No, I'm sorry that your card didn't work. But, you know, you didn't have to just surrender like that. Well, that's the first duel of the day. You see what this deck is about, I think. You summon out the King of Skull Servants, and you summon many more Skull Servants until you have a very strong King of Skull Servants. So, let's do the second opponent and do more of that. Alright, our second opponent. Yes, I believe second is preferable. This deck does like to go second as far as I can tell. I do have many monsters with a lot of attack points, but not a lot of monsters with a lot of defense points, so going second seems to be preferable. What is this? Let's see. Well, once again, we have the King of Skulls in the same place as he was before, so I think that's a good sign. My opponent has... Well, he has a smaller deck, but he has a smaller side deck, too. What is that? Giant Kozaki. If this card is destroyed, take inflict damage equal to the original attack of this card's current controller. If there's no face-up Kozaki, destroy this card. He seems like a very silly card. Why would you play this card? Activate this card by paying 1,000 life points. But it doesn't do anything. Is my opponent trying to have less life points? That seems counterintuitive. you need life points to keep dueling. So why would you pay all your life points? What is this? Send up to 3 cards, draw that many cards. Special summon up to that many monsters from the hand with different names. And for some reason he took more oh, he did not special summon. So my opponent seems very intent on having very few life points. If you fusion summon a machine, banish monsters from hand, field, and or grave. Okay. I'm very confused. Does he have something else he can do? Maybe. I'm not actually 100% certain. Maybe. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and activate Danger Mothman. This allows me to summon Danger Mothman because it discarded something else, and I suppose I should try that again. I'm still not 100% sure what my opponent's trying to do. Maybe this is one of those good Samaritans that Memphis won't let me talk to. And, do I need to do... I think I need to still do things. Yeah, this is one of those good Samaritans that just goes online to let new players win duels. I would chat and I would thank them for their kindness, but Master Duel doesn't have a chat bar for some reason. I don't know why. It seems kind of silly. Alright, let's make a new monster. Let's summon out Starlight Red Dragon Archfiend. He seems kind of like a mean monster, but we'll summon that monster. And I don't really have many Skull Servants, but I suppose I should try to summon a Skull Servant. I mean, that's the name of the deck, is Skull Servants, not Danger Mothman. I don't know much about the Danger Mothman archetype, but this isn't that kind of deck, so I guess we'll attack and thank our opponent. Thank you, sir, for giving us a free win. You know, I very much appreciate it. So now let's go for the 3rd duel today. These are going rather quickly. We might need to do a 4th duel. Oh,
I'm getting done, I swear.
I'm on the 3rd game. Alright, 3rd game. Going 2nd again. Kiraito. Alright, we'll see if Mr. Kiraito is also a good Samaritan. It's possible. So far, this hasn't been that difficult. Is this one of those meta decks? I remember meta decks not being very fun. Maybe I'm being made to play a meta deck today. I don't know. This hand's not quite as good, I don't think. I mean, White Mare, Lady in White are good. Suzuki is good. I don't have the King of Skulls, however, so that's not as good. What does this card do? Oh, it's another good Samaritan. He's sacrificing his life points. There's a lot of nice people here on Master Duel. They're just giving out wins, which I think is very kind and thoughtful of people. You know? I'm not usually privy to these things. Feels kind of nice. Anyway, so what does this card do? Destroy all spell traps your opponent can do. Alright, so this is some sort of meta deck, and my opponent surrenders, regrettably. Alright, so I guess we should... Oh, no, his connection failed, so that duel doesn't count. That duel doesn't count, but, you know, thank you, Mr. Kiraito, for trying to give me a win. I appreciate it. Alright, let's try a 4th duel. Alright, the 4th duel is up against a gentleman named Chespirito 64. I'm not 100% sure what a chess spirit is. But, you know, his creature is this wizard, so I don't know if that means anything to anybody. I picked this one because I like it. It's a little bird with a very large head. It's very clumsy. I think it's cute. Alright, so my opponent has set a card to start. And I set a second card to start. Still not sure what deck this is. Another deck with a very small extra deck. And what is this card? Toon Gemini Elf. Can I attack the turn it's summoned? If Toon World is destroyed, destroy this card while you have Toon World. Oh, so this is a card that would go well with the Good Samaritan Man. So this must be a Good Samaritan deck. Alright. Well, we're gonna go ahead and activate this thing, Dark World Dealings. Sounds a rather ominous card, but it's actually not that terrible, I don't think. It's just both of us get to draw a card and then discard a card. So basically my opponent can hopefully draw into something good and then discard something they don't need. You know? I think that's the general idea of what this card does. We do have white baking again, which is good. This way I can get some more Skull Servants in the graveyard. What did my opponent send? Oh man, this is a very large monster. Blue Eyes Toon Dragon. That sounds rather powerful. I'm surprised he discarded it. Maybe he has some way of getting it back on the board. Must be summoned for... Oh. Maybe not. He must have an even better card in his hand. Thanks to the Dark World Dealing. Alright, so once again the White Prince will activate. I'm thankful that I'm starting this week with such an easy sort of deck, I think. Because I don't remember entirely how to play this game, so I'm grateful that I'm playing a deck that seems to be pretty straightforward. There's not a lot of things to remember other than put cards in the graveyard. That seems to be just the main focus. So we're gonna summon out Unizombie. And I don't know what this red... I think the red means that he could do something as well. So let's do as we've done, and we're gonna put more monsters in the graveyard. That is the plan. Alright. Well, I am thankful my opponent is allowing me to do the thing I want to do, so I am grateful for that. You know what? I'm grateful. Your monster can be a higher level now. I think your monster did a good job, and it deserves it. So, once again, sending the White Prince. And still don't know what these face down cards do. I presume that these are maybe Toon cards? It's hard to say. I don't know anything about the Toon deck. Might be a good deck. It might be a bad deck. I don't know. I don't think there... Are there any bad decks in this game? I don't actually know. These two, I guess. So now I can summon out a King of the Skull Servants, who again doesn't look... I mean, I suppose he has a very commanding sort of posture, but again, he doesn't have a crown or anything. Most kings wear crowns, at least under, you know, what was the word for it? When they're... I almost said interred. When the king is crowned, they wear their crown. And then sometimes for parties, I would imagine. Alright. Well, my monster's rather large, but let's go ahead and let my opponent draw another card. They've been very kind, allowing me to do anything. My last memory of this game involves not doing many things. And... Alright. So this is a Toon deck. Let me see. As far as I can tell, it's the Toon deck. We'll attack with our King of Skull Servants. and do a lot of damage. Well, my opponent, he'll at least have a chance at having a turn. I'm grateful for that. You know, we need to spread some kindness. So it's good that we allow our opponent a turn. And that's what I can do. So now it's our opponent's turn. I'm sure we're about to see a toon play or two. I'll have to say, just a lot of very kind, thoughtful people tonight. Just, you know, I'm sure he could have done something on my turn, but they chose openly not to, and I appreciate that. So now we'll see what my opponents can do. I'd like to see, because I don't know what the toon archetype does. Try to attack. Oh, so this is also an offensive deck. I think because it says if toon world's on the field, and I have no toons that he can attack me directly. I don't think any of the Skull Servants are toons. I'd have to read them again to find out. I don't think they're any toons. But my opponent has a monster. Maybe my opponent's having... I think my opponent might be having trouble with their deck, unfortunately. Well, Memphis would tell me not to do this, but let's attack with the King of the Skull Servants, as we did before. Crown of the World. Crowned by the World. That's not a toon monster. Well, regardless, let's attack with our Unizombie and do a little more damage, and we'll let our opponent have a free turn, because they were nice to us and allowed us to do things, even though they clearly had something they could have done to interrupt us. So, you know, spread the good cheer of Halloween. That's the plan. So, with any luck, Mr. Spirito will have drawn the card he needs to do something. Memphis does tell me that people need to do things in these duels. And I would like it if my opponent did things. So far, my opponents haven't done as much. Okay. Well, I suppose... Oh, that was a free turn. I don't know how many turns is, like, proper. Alright. What do I... Let's summon a snake. I guess this is also something that goes with Danger Mothman. Maybe? I don't remember. Have I played this card before? It looks familiar, but I'm not sure. Anyway, we can summon out this snake. It's kind of a cute snake. And I guess we'll just attack. Let's attack with something small first. Maybe it'll live. Alright, it will live. Well, I'm sorry to say that Mr. Chespirito didn't get to do what he wanted to do. I don't feel good about that. You know, my opponents have been very kind, helping me to get back into the game here. Oh, maybe. No? Oh, it's unfortunate. Well, either way, I guess that's the episode. My opponents didn't do too much. Maybe there's just a lot more kind, heartwarming people on Master Duel than on EDO Pro. Because I remember on EDO Pro, people would try to stop me from doing things a lot, so that's a thing. So, let me go back to the deck. Here it is. So, thank you everybody for watching the first episode of Halloween series. Tomorrow I believe I'm playing Vampires, although I believe that is going to be on EDO Pro or something, because don't have all the vampire cards. Let me check. I mean, there's some vampire things. I don't know, maybe Memphis should try. to do this on Master Duel. I mean, there's some vampire cards here and some not vampire cards here. I'll ask him. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to, what was it? Like and subscribe, I think it was. I don't remember. And check out tomorrow for more Halloween video, which will be spooky. Thank you for showing up, and you have a wonderful evening.